I was listening to the tribute to Lyle and thinking about how do we deal with change. And in your profession, in the medical profession, we face death quite a bit. And I'm reminded of a Taoist story. Taoism is an ancient Chinese religion. And this particular story has helped me cope with challenges in life. And there's a poor village, and in the village there's a farmer, and he's considered wealthy because he owns his own horse. And one day, his horse runs away. And all the villagers say, "What terrible luck. You've just lost all your wealth." And he says, "Maybe." And 2 days later, it comes back, bringing with it 2 wild horses. And they say, "What incredible luck. You've just tripled your wealth." And the farmer says, "Maybe." And that day, his only son is out riding one of the wild horses, trying to tame it. It bucks him off, and he breaks his femur. And 3,000 years ago, that was life-threatening. And the villagers say, "What terrible luck, your only son." And the farmer says, "Maybe." And the next day, the emperor's men come through the village, conscripting every young man to fight in a war, taking every young man except for the farmer's son. And the villagers say, "What incredible luck." And the farmer says, "Maybe." And this really is what life is like. Sometimes the things that I think are most wonderful in hindsight aren't. And sometimes the most difficult situations are the seedbed upon which wonderful things are built. But even more importantly than that, how do I live with a sense of joy, calm, serenity, and maximum contribution regardless of what's happening in life? Because, I really don't want my emotional life to follow the NASDAQ index. So it's quite fun, and we'll have some fun today. If we can just go to the slides. Question: does pain have value? Does pain have value? 1 in every 400,000 children is born with a very rare disease, the inability to feel pain. And those children on average die by the time they're 12 because they have no diagnostic methodology. They could have a cut and they'll never know. Or they could have a splinter and they won't say anything and it'll fester. Or they have a pain in their side, but because they don't feel it, they don't know anything about it. And so while I personally find pain very difficult, it is in fact a gift. It's a gift that challenges me to actually change. And if I begin to use the story of the Taoist farmer to see the difficulties in life in a different way, it begins to change my perspective. And so while Lyle's death, I understand he was killed by a drunk driver, which is a terrible tragedy. It's a terrible tragedy. And yet we have to find some value and some meaning out of it. And so the material we're going to be talking today applies equally as much to me personally as it does to me professionally.